What is going on, YouTube? Today we will be taking on the Skeleton Lords, one of the bosses in the Hunstman's Copse area. I don't really like either of the bosses in this area. They're both kind of what's the word? Like, I'm trying to think of a good way to explain it. It's like clusterfuck based, basically. Both fights, there's just skeletons everywhere, basically, which just, I don't know, I don't really like that type of fight. I like the 1v1 epic battle, and these ones sort of annoy me and I struggle with. For both fights, really, you don't want to be using an S stock like me. Like, I think that's half the reason I struggle so much with each of these boss fights. It's because I've been using like the S stock and the halberd as my main weapons, and they're sort of single target based weapons, really, and like you can miss very easily when there's a lot going on, and you can get yourself into trouble very easily. So I'd suggest something like I don't know, just like a broadsword or something with a slash, basically, rather than a poke or just like a one target hit, something that can hit multiple people, and yeah, that'll serve you very well in these fights. Just showing the way here through Hunstman Copse. The bonfire I was resting at, if you don't know how to unlock that door, you will find the key in this room from memory. I believe that's where I found it the first time through, and then you can go back and unlock it and use that bonfire, and that's the best way to get to this boss fight, basically. It's a pretty cruisy path, really. The first time you come through this particular part, you'll get invaded by an in-game NPC, whatever you want to call it. So you just gotta watch out for her, because she can knock you off the edges and wreck you pretty good. But here we are at the boss fight. Straight off, you'll see there's three lords. You want to kill either the one on the left or the one on the right, in my opinion. After you kill one of them, it'll take a little bit of time, and then they'll spawn 4 skeletons. If you kill the one in the middle first, he spawns 4 the worst enemy from the first game, the bonewheel skeletons, and dealing with them while these guys chase you around in melee range is extremely tough. So I suggest taking out the skeleton lord on the left, and once you've got him, take out his skeleton minions that form, and then take out the other melee skeleton lord, because the one that starts in the middle basically just sits back and launches the occasional spell at you, so he doesn't really do anything, so you don't need to worry about him as much. So that's why I think leaving him alive until last and killing the other 2 first is the best way to do this, or the safest way at least. If you have any sort of explosives, or if you're like an int or a faith build, any AoE stuff, that will really help you clear out the little skeletons a lot quicker. You see me here in this fight, I kind of struggle with it. I just sort of moving around waiting for opportunities, basically. Positioning is very important, as always. But you've got to be careful with these skeletons too, because like the ones with the shields, they can parry your ass and they can ruin your day. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So you want to kill the skeleton lord on the left, then all the guys he spawns, then the one on the right, all the ones that he spawns, then the last one, and then finally deal with the cancerous bonewheel skeletons, which they nearly kill me. Like, I wasn't recording with commentary at the time, but I was yelling. I was I was getting quite upset. I would have been very mad if they had to kill me. Like, they're very frustrating enemies, and they're actually not as bad in this game as they are in the last game, which says a lot about how just freaking terrible they were in Dark Souls 1. You see me here using life gems instead of Estus in this fight. You don't really get any opportunities, basically because of the smaller skeletons, to completely pause and use your Estus. with the life gems you can actually just maintain that little bit of movement, and that's really helpful in this fight because you can just edge around one of the pillars, one of the 4 pillars in the arena, and you can just use that to heal, and you can block the enemies on the other side of it basically. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. That's all the advice I can say. Yeah, not a huge fan. Definitely not a huge fan of this this fight or the execution at Chariot one, which is the other boss here, which should be uploaded at pretty much the same time as this. I may even put them in the same video yet, I'm not sure. But you see me a few times here just with the S stock, because it's a thrust, it whiffs every now and then, or it'll accidentally do the poke attack while you still have your shield up, rather than me like letting go and doing a normal lunge. So that can be very frustrating. So something like I don't know, even an axe or a bastard sword, a broadsword, something like that will probably do you a bit better, and allows you to hit multiple enemies at once and sort of keep them off you a bit better. It's better crowd control basically, which is what this fight is kind of based around. It's pretty simple if you can deal with the skeletons quickly basically. You see me finally down to this last guy. I think I'm just looking for a heal here, yeah. And like it was just the 3 skeleton like lords, this would be the easiest boss fight. Like it's all the little guys that they spawn that make it hard. See, this is the first time I'd actually got this far. I was like, alright, where are they? And then I see them behind me, and then there's 4 of the bastards. Ideally you want to kill them as they spawn from the ground. Even if you only get 1 or 2, it will help a lot, because as you see there, when there's 4 of them, they will mess you up very easily. Like I said before, they're not the complete insta-kill that they were in Dark Souls 1. They don't just melt your stamina and your health bar, which I'm kind of thankful for, but they're still very frustrating, especially when there's this many. Because you see me a number of times go for a heal, and then I'll just get knocked by one and nearly die. And I like... Oh, it's just very close. They're very frustrating enemies. I struggle with them. But yeah, that is all I've got. I'll let you enjoy my pain for a minute or so longer. I hope this was helpful, and see you later. Bye!